Where were you born?
Born in Flint, Michigan.
And tell me about your home life there. What was Flint like?
Home life, I'm the youngest of 8 kids, so, and, just a, pretty poor family, but, we had boxing. My father was a boxer, and, we had boxing gloves. It was 5 boys, we all boxed. My sisters know how to box.
Yeah, your sister was good.
Yeah. But all 3 of my sisters, they know how to, we all trained in boxing, so it was just a boxing household. Big time. Nothing but, from the time I can remember, tournament.
Oh, yeah?
Tournament. Older brothers fighting in tournaments. I'm the youngest, so as I was coming up, I'm in tournament.
And you're the youngest of the 8?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep, youngest of the 8.
Did you get to be the biggest, too? Are you the biggest?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Yeah, it is funny, but mine was, really artificial. But I'm kidding.
What kind of neighborhood did your family grow up in? It was like a...
It was, what can I say? It was pretty, we stayed in like it was Flint Township, because we used to stay like right in the heart of the city, then we moved like on the township, right on the outskirts of the city. It was like black and white, Midwest black and white. And, well, pretty poor area. So, it was just, normal type neighborhood. Then when I got a little older, we moved back to the inner city.
And what kind of kid were you?
I was just athletic kid. In my household, we're athletes, period. All my brothers and sisters played 2 to 3 sports. I'm the only one that they played 2 or 3 sports. They did it all. I got one sister that she got 4 sports she could went to college for.
Wow.
And another sister, college basketball. My brothers, they all boxed. They chose boxing, but got basketball scholarship, football scholarships. But I boxed. I just stayed with boxing. I could have played other sports, but I love the sport of boxing.
Yeah. And your father got you interested. Was your mom always supportive and in favor of you guys boxing?
She was. For me personally, she used to yell so loud for the other boys that it was kind of embarrassing. So my father had to put her in the corner. And when he put her in the corner, that's when I started coming up and boxing as a 6, 7, 8, 10-year-old little boxer. So she's been always in my corner.
Yeah.
You can't yell in the amateur corners.
Yeah, she was a tough lady. I remember.
Yeah. And
giving the right advice too.
Yeah, she was. Hey, I'm telling you, man, she pushed me to a whole nother level.
Yeah, I believe you. And how old were you when you first walked in the gym? Did your father
first walk in the gym? 5 years old.
Okay.
So, and we couldn't actually start competing until I was 10, but I had exhibitions from the time I was 5. I had a lot of exhibitions from 5 to 10. A lot, all the time.
And were you good? Were you good right away?
No. I can't say I was good right away. My father never pushed me. I'm with a bunch of guys in the gym. We have like 30 guys, 25, 30 guys at a time. I'm the youngest. I'm doing what they're doing. So it was really just being in the gym. My father just took me to the gym, and I'm just one of the boys. And then over years, I developed into, getting better. My father never pushed me. Never pushed none of the guys, especially his sons. He never pushed us. So, but when he started seeing the talent start coming, getting better and better, he encouraged us. And his thing is, if you come into the gym, you're going to train. There's no playing around no more. But if you come to the gym, but if you don't want to come, don't come. So it made a lot of sense. And it really helped me out big time.
And was there like a lot of rivalry in the house too? The sibling rivalry between the brothers?
Oh man, me and my brother Patrick, he's closest to me in age, because I got a brother 12 to 13 years older, another brother, 11 years older, then 8 years older. But me and my brother Patrick, we're a year and a half apart. And, man, we went at it. And he was the better one when we were little. He was the Sugar Ray Leonard of all the kids. I mean, he was awesome.
Yeah. And
awesome. So I really looked up to him, wanted to be more like him, but we would go at it in the gym, in the house. Anything we did, we went at it. But, you know, I still looked up to him.
Was he a super middleweight? I think I remember him being a super middleweight. Is that what he was?
Actually, he was junior middleweight.
Oh, okay. And so
yeah.
How old were you when you first got the better of him?
Oh, man. I had to have been like 17, 18 when I started really getting with him. In amateur, he was number one in the country in 1987.
Yeah.
So he was on the Pan Am team. I couldn't handle him.
Yeah. Wow. Did he ever go to the Olympics or Olympic trials or anything?
No, he lost in Olympic trials in '92.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
With me, yeah.
And you had 275 wins as an amateur. And you won them all. And
yeah. A lot of fights, man.
Yeah. You lost in the '88 Olympic trials at light welterweight. You lost to Todd Foster. How'd you feel?
Yeah.
How'd you feel losing and not making that team?
It was. I was hurt, but I was 17.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I fought Todd Foster in the finals of the U.S. Championships that same year. I beat Todd there.
Yeah.
And everybody thought I won, and I was only 17. He was number one for a while. And when we fought in the Olympic trials, I had my mind set on going to Korea. But when he beat me clean there. I can't say he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm only 17. Am I really ready for it? Because if I go to the Olympics, most likely I'm going to turn pro. And I was thinking that, but I was thinking about that at that time when I lost. I was like, I'm kind of glad I didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
But 92, I'll be mature. I'll be ready for it. And sure enough, that was my goal from the 88 trials. I'm being a 92 team. So it worked out.
That was a great team, the 88 team. Who do you think of when you remember your days trying to qualify for the team?
What you mean?
Like, the 88 team was a real team.
Riddick Bowe.
Yeah. What was
Riddick Bowe. He was on the Pan Am team with my brother Patrick, and they became real good friends. So when we went to the Nationals in 88, then to the trials, Riddick was always crazy. I mean, I knew Roy, and I knew, Kenny McKinney, all the guys that was on the team, Mercer, but Riddick was the one stand out to me.
Yeah. You and Riddick still cool though, or
Yeah, well, it's the boxing, and boxing is kind of a small community,
mm-hmm.
and especially when you travel a lot as in amateurs or you go to tournaments, you kind of get acquainted,
mm-hmm.
and for the most of it, you never forget those little moments together or long moments together.
Mm-hmm.
You always boys till we die. I don't care what level you make it to as far as in your professional career. Our amateur connection is huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's huge. It's like a band of brothers, really.
Yeah. And you were a 3-time U.S. amateur champion. You won your first time in 1989.
Yeah.
How'd that feel, winning that one?
Oh, it was great, because coming off of 88, making it to the finals, and then go up 2 weight classes and win it.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was great. I'm number one in the nation. I'm on my way, thinking I am.
Mm-hmm.
So it was great.
Yeah. Then you went to the Goodwill Games in 1990. What happened?
Yeah. I lost to a guy named Torsten Smith. I remember all this stuff. He was one of the reigning world champions, the amateur. Torsten is a great coach now in Germany. He's an older guy. I think in the Goodwill Games I was still 18.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was 18. I didn't turn 19 yet. And, I think Torsten like 24, 25, so just getting a lot of experience.
Yeah.
And he beat me on a split decision. Everything was learning. I'm learning different styles fighting international, learning how to box and win fights. I mean, that's one thing in my sport. I learned from every fight and every situation I was in because boxing is a style matchup, and I started realizing that then.
Mm-hmm.
This is totally different style.
Yeah.
Fighting the Russians, totally different. I mean, that all happened after '89, fighting international fights. So, I mean, I really learned a lot through my amateur years.
Yeah. So the Russians were the best.
To me, personally, I fought against Cuba. You know, you rarely fight against Cuba. Fought against Cuba, I beat the Cuban in '91, and I lost to a different Cuban in the finals of the Olympics, which was a close fight. But I fought against Russia 10 times, and it was unified Russia. It wasn't broke up like it is now.
Yeah.
And I only won 4 times.
Jeez.
That's how hard the style is. So I'll take you on a little something for now when they talk about like the heavyweights with Russia. Hey, guys can fight. They talk about American heavyweights. Since '92, we only had 2 guys win in the heavyweight or super heavyweight division in amateur.
Yeah.
So they run things.
Yeah, they do.
They're good amateur fighters, though.
Yeah, now in the pros too, taking over.
Yeah, they're good amateur fighters.
Yeah, I guess it's the basics of the game that wins it for them, you know.
Yes, they start young and they stay with it all the way through. Where American guys, you know, you got Seth Mitchell. You know, that's
I know.
So-called best American heavyweight, but you know,
isn't that crazy? Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, going off the subject a little bit, you know, kind of sad for him.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna get put in a situation that he's not ready for.
Yeah, I know. And you can see it coming already. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. It's been happening, man. They just try to rush people, try to do it to Casareola and everything.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but.
Yeah. But then you didn't make the Olympic team or the Goodwill Games, and you went to the You were the U.S. Amateur Champion again. How'd that feel in 1991, winning the U.S. Amateur Championship again?
Oh man, I thought honestly, with that, it was a great feeling because I moved up from 156 to 165, and I weighed in the finals of the U.S. Championships at 156 and a half, and I'm fighting in the finals of the U.S. Championships at 165. So against a tough Marine, and I thought, man, this is crazy because the weight difference, you know, how weight differences are in boxing. That's a huge jump. You know, you going 9 pounds up, and I was a skinny kid, so. And I'm fighting that, and I'm in the finals, and then I win it. I was like, man, I know I'm making the Olympics at this weight class. Because that was the first time I fought at 165, so it was like, oh, I won in '91. I'm gonna run things now, especially in America.
Was it as fun the first or the second time as it was the first time?
Oh man, the second time was off the chart because I filled in a little bit more, and I was much more confident in doing it. I mean, I was standing boxer of the '92 U.S. Championships. I mean, I put on a great performance. I was saying, and I can say that people that seen it was like, man, that kid he's peaking now. I peaked at the right time.
Yeah, you did. And you did it again in 1992. You made it look easy, just collecting them.
Yeah.
And then you were on the 1991 U.S. national boxing team. That became the first U.S. team to score a tie with the Cuban team.
Yeah, I think it's the only team.
Yeah.
It might be the only team. Yeah, that was special.
That scored a tie against the Cuban team?
Yeah, nobody. I don't know to this day did anybody ever tie with Cuba. Cuba is off the chart. I mean, that's just, you know, they breastfed on boxing, man. That's one thing. Boxing, baseball in Cuba is off the chart. So When we tied Cuba, man, it was something special.
Yeah. What'd you do? Fight?
Yeah, we a dual meet, and I won my fight. My brother Patrick fought. He fought also. He lost his fight on that card, but we had good guys on the team. De La Hoya, he won his fight. Raul Marquez, who was a former champion. We had good guys. Vernon Forrest.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Vernon didn't fight. Vernon didn't fight. Shane fought.
I did. Oh, there's another one.
Yeah, Shane fought on that card against Cuba.
Yeah. And did that bond the team forever? Do you still have relationships with everybody on the team?
Oh yeah, I just got off the phone with Shane.
Oh, did you?
I talk to guys, all the time. More than just like a dual meet is going to training camp. That's where we bonded, man. And all of us can say, you can talk to every amateur fighter that's been involved in training camps with a bunch of guys, and we see each other a lot. They'll all say, man, I miss those days. I don't care if you're the biggest champion. You can be De La Hoya, you can have Shane Mose, you got camp. That's where it was, man, because we formed, friendships. You fight at camp, you friends, you this, you that. I mean, it was home away from home. So, and we bonded big time for life.
Yeah. Did Shane say anything about how he feels? How does he feel now?
He's doing all right. I mean, I told him you old enough to be his father.
Yeah.
You fight a 21-year-old at 154, a weight class you're not truly accustomed to, and a young, hungry champion. You know what I'm saying? So you have nothing to feel bad about. It's when you're at the end of your career, it's the end, and your body will tell you that it's the end. You can't pull the trigger like you used to. You can't get out of the way of punches. You can't, you can't do certain things. So, that's just part of life. But he's still competing at that, he's still competing at that age.
I think he might
at the highest level. What's that?
You think he might give it up now? Right.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to. I mean, it's time. Because this is not like basketball or any other sport where you competing and you get away unscathed. No, you get hit.
Yeah.
So, and your body don't react the same, and, you can get injured. So, I'm hoping that, this is it for him.
Yeah, I hope so, too. Cause
I root for him like crazy. I'm waiting to the end.
Yep.
To see him land something, but at the same time, I'm thinking, man, it's not even worth it anymore.
Yeah. Did you think Richardson should have maybe stopped the fight a few rounds early?
Personally, I would have stopped the fight in the 7th round.
Yeah, about there too. Yeah.
It's over. Yeah. You have no chance of winning. Yeah. Why are you? This is me personally, off the record. I view boxing different now. I'm told, but especially in a fight where you got no chance of winning, all you doing is getting damaged from here on in, and you constantly telling your guy you had a good round. I'm like, are you serious? But that's my thought on it. I'm like, no, stop the fight.
Yeah, I think if I was a fighter, I think I'd want the truth and not just something you already know.
I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Yeah. That's what
I'm just gonna tell you, that's me. I mean, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Dude, you have no chance of winning. I mean, and if you in Shane's situation, if he did win, it would have been worse, because if he would have pulled the fight out with a one-punch knockout, that means he's gonna continue fighting.
Yeah.
When you shouldn't. So, it's not good either way.
Yep. You're right, man. Then back to you. You made it through the Olympic trials in '92, and you got in. How did it feel when you got into the Olympics and you knew you were?
Oh, man. And it's funny. The night I made the Olympic team, my girlfriend, who's my wife now, told me she was pregnant, and I was like, what? I mean, it was joy and shock at the same time.
Wow.
I mean, when I won, I was like, but I mean, it was like, wow, all this hard work and the goal was not to Olympics. But at the same time, I knew I was going to make the team. I was number one in the country. For the last 2 years at that weight class, nobody beat me, and I beat the guy that I beat him 5 times. So, you know, it would have been much more disappointing if I would have lost than me being joyful and winning, because I knew I was going to make it.
Yeah.
As long as I had to, you know, stay on point and box, do what I do, I was going to make the team. So, you know, I was happy, of course, but I wasn't like overboard, because I had been on that level at the top for 2 years. So, you know,
Yeah.
just it was still good though.
Mm-hmm. And was there any added pressure you felt? No, that your girlfriend told you she was pregnant and you were already fighting for your country?
What for the Olympics?
Say it again? No, did you feel added pressure going into the Olympics, knowing that you had a baby on the way now and you were already fighting for your country?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
It was some pressure. You know, I'm like, wow, I'm gonna be a daddy. You know, I gotta support my kid. I gotta do well here. So, and you know, which makes me fight better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I loved it, and you know, I just went to the Olympics. I was like, hey, it's time to do it. This is what I've been waiting for my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to be one of the ones that's going home early.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it didn't happen for me like that either. So it was a great experience, man. I'm telling you, it was off the chart.
Yeah, you were there till the end, man.
Yeah, off the chart. And in the fight, people don't remember, they gave him 3 of my points.
Mm.
So in that, the fight was really close. It was 1-1 first round, 4-4 after the second. And I lose 12-7. I'm like, are you serious? And that's what I thought when I went back. I looked, when they said the score, I'm like, are you serious? 12-7? And then coming home, watching it on NBC, I would have won 10-9.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, the computer scoring in that fight, anybody could have won. It was that close. And they could have won either way. But 12-7, he outpunched me 8-3 in the last round. Like, nah, that's not right. So, you know, that was disappointing. I never cried after an amateur fight. After all the fights I had, never cried. I cried like a baby after that. And my boy, he was right there with me. He stayed with me to the end. All the guys, my boy, but Vernon Forrest stayed with me because he lost the first fight, and Vernon stayed with me the whole time. I was in it. He consoled me when I was crying, and he checked me and put it into reality for me. He's like, dude, we trained our whole life to make it to the Olympics, to win a medal. I lost my first fight. I go home with nothing. At least you go home with a medal. And I was like, wow, I shut my mouth. I stopped crying. I was like, whoa. You're right about that. So it made me think. So I was like, okay. Then I became pretty happy. Pretty happy after that.
Special guy, Vernon. Everyone says I never hear a bad word about him.
Yeah, that's my boy. Yeah, he was my boy.
What kind of memories do you have of Eric Griffin?
Eric Griffin?
Mm-hmm.
My opinion. This is my opinion. And like as my pastor say, what my opinion mean? A lot of times nothing. But in this, it means something. Best amateur boxer to never win a medal.
Yeah.
Yes. Nobody from 1989 to 92, we already knew we had a gold medal going to every major world tournament. We knew we were getting 1 gold medal. Eric Griffin. Oh, my goodness. I can't. And if you talk to anybody, ask Oscar. People say, well, Oscar was a good amateur. He won a gold medal. That gold medal is Eric Griffin's gold medal out of any. I feel bad coming home with a medal and Eric not having a medal. Nobody beat Eric.
No.
Eric was just, I mean, he was the team, he was the leader as far as fighting go because he won everything. So we fed off him.
Yeah.
He was the first one to fight, 1-6. He goes smoke his guy, then all of us, we better follow suit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what about Tim Austin?
Oh, Sugar Bear. That's what my brother called him. Sugar Bear. The skinniest 112, skinniest guy you ever see. And we voted him pound for pound the hardest puncher on the team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Tim Austin can crack.
Yes, he can.
Left-handed, long, I mean, just super long, but he can crack. Now, Tim, you know, we all came up Junior Olympics and stuff with Tim Austin, man. He was dynamite. He was super.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was a great bantamweight, too, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, heck yeah.
Great pro. And what about Sergio Reyes?
Sergio, workhorse.
Yeah.
That's work, man. Sergio, man, was so cool. Can fight his butt off, and very surprised that he got beat. He got outworked. He got out. I would say outworked. He got a counter punch because the computer scoring system, it wasn't in his favor when he lost. And I thought Sergio was going to win a gold medal.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a workhorse, man. He's just a good fighter and good guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And what about Julian Wheeler?
Julian, honestly,
yeah.
I can't say he shouldn't have been there. We all thought Ivan Robinson was going to make it.
Yeah.
And Ivan was the man, and then he beat Ivan in the trials, and we were like, what? Because I've been knowing Julian for a long time. Julian just hard to fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was just long, you know, unorthodox, but he just, you know, all-around good fighter, man.
Yeah.
Had to be really good to beat Ivan. Ivan was on point.
Yes, he was.
Those years.
Yeah. Love Ivan, man. Good guy. Real cool guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you and Oscar? Did you guys have any kind of relationship?
Oh, yeah, man. We hung out, snuck out together, did all crazy stuff. I was one that was cool with everybody. Oscar, honestly, to me, as low big, I believe in luck. I don't believe in luck no more. Man is the luckiest guy as far as, and very talented.
Yeah.
One thing about Oscar, like the black fighters would be like, oh, man, we're going to get somebody to beat Oscar. Oscar ain't all that good. Man, Oscar was the package.
Yeah.
I mean, he's converted southpaw, unbelievable hook, unbelievable power, but he had speed and he was smart.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just can fight. I'm like, dang, with anybody, and a workhorse.
Yeah.
You know, he had great work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and look how he carried over in his pro career. Just dude got skills. He's just talented.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Just talented guy.
Yeah. And then you got Pepe Riley. What you got to say about
yeah. Pepe beat my brother in the trial.
Oh, did he?
He the one. Yeah, because my brother, he was the favorite going in.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And Pepe in the trial, and Pepe came from 119 up to 147.
Jeez. Like the
and Pepe was. Yeah. But you know, he got busted for the illegal stuff too. Pepe did.
Oh wow.
And then it wasn't good. But with Pepe, honestly, he wasn't ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, I don't think so. I think if he would have stayed in '96, matured a little more, he would have been like dominant. I just think he wasn't ready for it. He didn't have any. Matter of fact, I don't think he had any international experience. None.
No.
And you know that hurts. That hurts you.
Mm-hmm.
But it not only hurts you in your pro career. I mean, your amateur career, your pro career also, because you're really not ready. I mean, we learned different styles. I mean, I matured so much as an amateur. I felt like I could fight anybody at any stage.
Yeah.
You know, so he was a good fighter. I'm getting right. He made the Olympic team. I just didn't think he was ready for that.
Yeah. And maybe he was Kind of like you in '88, right? Is that what you're thinking?
That's it. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
He was just a little not ready. A little bit
green. And you got Raul Marquez.
Raul. No, Raul was him and Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
The Duvas main events was really pursuing those two. My whole 4 years of 89, 92, just pursuing them they were basically signed with them, knowing who they were going to sign with after pro. And Raul always, man, dude just can fight.
Mm-hmm.
And he fought my brother twice also, because he was at 147, and he couldn't make the weight anymore. He hit him with 156, and he ran things there. So Raul was really good. He was like one of the top amateurs out of all the amateurs in America.
Yeah.
Over every weight class. He was really good.
Yeah. The only thing that bothered him was his cutting. He just cut and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. He got cut up so much as a pro, for goodness.
Yeah. Every fight. Every single fight.
Yep. It messed him up.
Yeah. And then you had Montel Griffin.
Montel. Oh, my goodness.
Montel. That's a cool dude.
Slickest. I thought I was the slickest guy out of all the boxers. I was, at that time, I was just arrogant. You can't hit me. until Montel came along.
Yeah. Montel.
I was like, wow. 5'7",
mm-hmm.
slick, and he made the team on a bet with some friends. He said, I'm going to come back. He was fat. He stopped boxing.
Yeah.
He came back and made the team like a year and a half, where it was Jeremy Williams. That was his spot.
Yeah.
Jeremy Williams was the man.
Mm-hmm.
And then Montel came on the scene, and, man, he was at one training camp. My father was the coach of the training camp. You gotta see this little guy. Because I didn't pay no attention to Montel. I mean, I'm like, who is that? This Olympic year, where he come from? Man, dude can fight.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. Not ever seen him. And then get on the scene, and he had that much skill. His skill level was off the chart. And he got robbed in the Olympics big time.
Yeah.
He got robbed big time. So, he's just good, man. And we still tight to this day.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Just talked to him not that long ago. I talked to him a lot, actually. Montel's a good guy.
My boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Montel's my man.
Yeah. Then you had Donnell Nicholson.
Dude, come out of prison. Come out of prison. I think less than a year make Olympic team.
Yeah.
He's an athlete. Yeah, he's just an athlete. And when he got out of prison, he was chiseled like somebody carved him out of rock.
Oh, yeah?
That's how muscular he was. And I was like, wow.
Jeez. What happened?
He was my roommate. Him and Montel, we were roommates in Olympics.
Oh, yeah?
Us three.
Dude.
Yeah, so it was cool. It was funny. He went up under his bed, grabbed a box, had letters in it. I didn't know he was in prison.
Okay.
He said, man, I was in prison 5 years. I was like, what? Can you come out and make the Olympic team? and was a top, national top player, basketball player in the country.
Yeah, I remember that. I didn't know he was in jail, though.
Yeah, before he went to prison.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he was a parade top 25 All-American.
That's amazing, man.
I know. I'm just a good athlete.
Yeah.
And Doc had this look on his face like he gonna kill you. You don't mess with Doc, but man, come to find out, man, he became one of my closest friends, closest guys on the team. He's just a good dude.
Yeah. What about Larry Donald?
Damn.
What?
Larry's funny. Ali. He was Ali, mimicked Ali, did everything. But he had to fight the Cuban Bellotto. That's who he lost to in the Olympics, and it was unfortunate that he had to meet Bellotto in the quarterfinals. But Larry, nobody's gonna beat Larry. Larry, for a big guy to move like that and to have fast hands and keep you off balance. Larry was Larry, crazy, but he's very talented, obviously. Because he ran things at super heavyweight. So, we had a good team, and we had 6 champions, world champions off that team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really 7, because they robbed Sergio Reyes. They robbed him with Canizales. So we had a really good team, man. It was strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We got dogged out because of the 84 and 88 team. I still remember Ring Magazine had us, they said a bombing in Barcelona because we only had 3 medals.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a couple of strikes compared to the 84 and 88 team because we were in a full Olympics. Mm-hmm. Cuba and Russia didn't come. So they won a bunch of medals, but you got Cuba and Russia. I don't care about the rest of the world at that time. Mm-hmm. If you don't beat Cuba and Russia, you got an asterisk next to your medal.
Yeah, you're right.
You do. I mean, I'm being very honest. And not only that, ask the guys that fought the 84 and 88 team. They take the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, my hardest fight is Cuba and Russia.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
I always hear things about 76, 84, but they never talk about 92. There's a ton of talent there.
But see, 76 was a full Olympics, and we won the same thing. Mm-hmm. Was a full Olympics, and we had the same many champions, but they won more medals but we had computer scoring also, mm-hmm. which is a trip. They don't count jabs. They don't count body shots. What kind of crap is that? No. I can knock you down with a body shot. They wouldn't even count it.
I know. That's insane.
It's just like it never happened. So the computer scoring system was terrible. It messed a lot of guys out of medals. So, mm-hmm. I think people started to figure out, okay, I'm not going with the computer scoring. I'm just going with talent. And that's what you should do. Mm-hmm. Go with talent. Andre Byrd, Miguel Cotto. They were in computer scoring Olympics and lost. I think their first fight, both of them. Mm-hmm. So, and the guys they fought they lost to the Olympics didn't do nothing as a pro.
That's right. That's true.
Yeah.
So, how many people were after you after winning the silver? How many promoters?
I had a few, not a lot.
No?
Not a lot. I had a few, and because I wasn't a puncher, so-called puncher, I was just a finesse skill guy. And I had a few people coming in, they were trying to get me in, and it just didn't work out like I wanted it to. Because my father was, at that time, was my manager and my trainer. I'm a young kid. I'm going under my father's wing, and what he wanted. And he probably turned away a lot of guys, a lot of people interested, in wanting more for his kid. Mm. And so we signed with one guy for our a promoter for our first fight, just a promoter. And I didn't get paid. Mm. I was guaranteed $60,000. They had no money.
Wow, that sucks.
And so, that's introduction to professional boxing. And my father, he's not contract savvy or, the business of boxing. He fought as a boxer journeyman, but he handled his own business on a lower level. We started getting to a little bit higher level, and just people scheming, mm-hmm. beating and cheating, just part of the sport. And I started off. I had another fight, and I didn't get paid. With a different promoter, didn't get paid again. So I'm 2-0, and I really thought at that time, after I had my first 2 fights, this boxing thing, I wish I could be back amateur. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a lot better, and it didn't work out, man. I mean, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be for myself. Mm-hmm. And then I got with a guy that heard they did an interview. An interview with me in the paper. A spread in the paper in Flint, Michigan, saying how the business of boxing is ruining my career. Because I was, 2-0, but I didn't fight at that. When they did that, I didn't fight at that time for like 8 months. And, I'm just sitting there, nothing happening. Mm-hmm. And a guy that owned a laminating business,
mm-hmm.
He said, I can help you out. I can put on shows. At least I know that much. I know people in the city, and we can, do some shows. So I'm like, anything at that time, let's do something. So we worked out a contract. He said, my father was dealing on certain stuff. I could pay you, we needed money. He paid me $2,000 a month, but I had to pay him back. But I need just, money if we keep it going, and, everything should work out. And sure enough, man, signed and started fighting in a nightclub.
Mm.
in a small nightclub in Flint, Michigan.
Wow.
Olympic silver medalist.
Yeah.
Had a great amateur career, and I'm seeing my boys fight on ESPN like crazy. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every single one fighting either on ESPN or some network, or they're talking about them in magazine network. I'm the only one.
Mm-hmm.
I started fighting in a nightclub. I mean, really started off. And when I started off with him, I had the idea to fight heavyweight. And the main idea came from, I went to Las Vegas on our last-ditch effort of somebody trying to sign me. Went to Las Vegas and went to see one of my boys fight. Scraped up some money and went. Had a brand-new baby. I was married. And I was broke as a joke. Scraped up enough money to go and get a plane ticket. They comped me a room from my boy Paul Vaden, who was a former champion. He boxed, and he had an extra room, so I got to stay in the room. Broke as a joke. And I went out there to supposedly meet with some guys to sign me, maybe sign me and my brother. We'll look at them. The guys, I never even met them. They were there the whole time. Went to the boxing show. They were there. I got word from somebody else, and they said that they're signing the heavyweight. They're going with a heavyweight now, because really that's where the money is. We don't want him. So I was like, wow. I mean, I was devastated to the point of tears. But my thought was, okay, since they want a heavyweight, I'm gonna be the heavyweight, but I ain't going with them. And that was my thought. I'm gonna go to the heavyweight division, and I was skinny as ever. I started eating and drinking protein shakes. I didn't know how to do. I don't know nothing about lifting weights because my father didn't believe in it. Mm-hmm. But in the process of all that little time, I gave my life to the Lord. I gave my life to Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
I heard about praying. I didn't know anything about Bible. I don't know nothing about Bible like I know now. But I was like, okay, they say if you ask God, he'll give you your request. And I'm telling you, I started putting on weight. I was like, what? I mean, I was kind of fat in the middle, but I fought at 193 when I got with the guy, the first nightclub act fight was 193.
Uh-huh.
And man, I'm telling you, from then, it was on. He started putting on fights at the nightclub, and I'm smoking I was like, I fought my first fight cruiserweight, fought Exum Spade. I remember the guy I fought. Then I started fighting heavyweight. I want to fight heavyweight. Weighing 190 or 191. I mean, I'm fighting these guys coming in, fat guys, 240, 235. I was just smoking them. I'm like, keep bringing them. Because they weren't that talented. And one thing I was blessed with was speed. I kept my speed and conditioning. I outlast you. I'm a workhorse.
Yeah.
But my problem was keeping the weight up. I can't keep the weight up. As I was moving, then I started going up the ladder, and then I fought a guy named Waxham Fikes on the. You remember USA Tuesday Night Fights?
That's where I got to know you.
Oh, okay. Tuesday Night Fight. I fought on the undercard, the walk-in bout, the first fight. I fought a guy that I was in Olympic trials with. He fought at super heavyweight in the Olympic trials. I was 139 in 1988 trial.
Wow.
And Daniel Fikes, he changed his name to Waxham Fikes. He said he whacked them and tags them. That's what he did. He a knockout artist, knocking guys out, and I got my break right there. When I fought him on the undercard, I smoked him. I mean, I beat him so bad to the point where the people from USA were like, "Where's this kid been?" I was only like 6, 7, 8 and 0 at the time. And then they wanted me to start fighting on Tuesday Night Fight, and that's when it started rolling. And for that fight, I made $1,200. $1,200 when I fought Waxham Fikes. And I fought USA the first time. They gave me $10,000. I thought I was a millionaire. I was like, "Are you kidding?" And so, and then the train started rolling. I mean, I started doing my thing, but I had a lot of challenges, man, fighting at heavyweight. I mean, I'm injured almost every time I get in the ring. Because when I spar, I'm too small. I mean, guys bust me up. I had major hand problems. To this day, I got my tendon off my knuckle. My knuckles swell up, but I got really small hands. I got middleweight hands, and I'm fighting at heavyweight. And all these challenges, but I kept winning. So it was just a fun ride at that time. But the problem with fighting on TV, when you're a left-handed heavyweight, you can't get the fights you want.
Yeah.
And I was willing to fight anybody. I didn't care who it was. Bring them. And the goal was Tyson. I'm like, because I love Mike Tyson. I love him. But my thought was, I want to fight Mike. I want the ultimate challenge. That's because I seen Mike since I was 11 years old. They watched him during Olympics, watched him in the Golden Gloves, AAU, before I went to the ABF. I was like, okay, Mike, because that dude will knock your head off. But I was stupid enough to say, he won't hit me. Let me see how long I can frustrate him. See what I can do with Mike. But that never happened. Obviously, that never happened. I mean, I wanted to fight the big three, Lennox, Mike, and Holy. I got a chance to fight Holy later. But it was in a situation where he had to fight me. So,
I'm sorry.
What's that?
In retrospect, do you wish that you stayed at maybe super middleweight or light heavyweight and maybe tried to get a title there first?
I can say that, but I mean, it was for me in my career. It was a God thing. He put me there for a reason. To show this, basically, what he did with David in the Bible. It was God's strength to fight all these Goliath and then become champion. To become actual champion, knowing that it was in his strength and not mine. Because I'm getting on the scale. I'm telling you, man. Sometimes I'm weighing like 202, and if I weigh in like with Don King, we weighed on Thursday. If I weigh in on Saturday, if we did an unofficial weight, just strip me down, just to my underwear. Man, I'm weighing 2-3, 2-1 all the time. Cause I'm a scale freak. I gotta see how much I weigh. To this day, I weigh myself almost every day. Every day, checking my weight. And man, my weight was so small. I'm like, dang. I'm like, wow. It looked good for the camera. And I'm full of Gatorade, or I eat a huge breakfast to make it look good. But I wasn't a big guy. Never was.
Yeah. In your 11th pro fight, you took a big step up in competition. You fought two-time champ at cruiserweight, Arthur Williams. What do you remember about that fight, that Arthur Williams fight?
Getting cracked.
Yeah.
Getting cracked for the first time in my whole life. I've been down. Never been knocked out in my life.
Yeah.
And I got introduced to heavyweight boxing, and he wasn't even a heavyweight.
Yeah.
Right? But he was experienced.
Mm-hmm.
So, being introduced to big boy boxing with experience, I come in, I'm clowning, I'm slipping, I'm dipping, I'm doing my thing, and then he's waiting, patient, get cracked first round.
Yeah. Wow.
And then it's like, okay, this is serious because I've been beating everybody really easy.
Mm-hmm.
And then he cracks me. And then, I wisen up, I pull the fight out. But, it's learning what you need to know in the ring. This ain't no game. These guys try to knock your head off.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys know I'm not a true heavyweight. In boxing, I know when somebody move up in weight, he ain't no puncher. How are you going to become a puncher when you want a puncher when he's in a smaller weight?
Yeah.
One, if you are a puncher in a smaller weight and you move up 40 pounds, you're not going to be a puncher in a big weight. It just don't happen. That's how the body works. So all these guys know. And this dude was a skinny middleweight in amateur and fought at, super middleweight starting off. He ain't no heavyweight. So, so I had to use my speed, my wits, and everything to try to get by guys.
Mm-hmm. So you felt a big difference in experience when you fought?
Oh man, experience was huge. I mean, I'm fighting a world class guy.
Mm-hmm.
World class, know what he's doing. Patient.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Patient. Looking at everything I'm throwing. Corrected all my mistakes. He sure was.
Mm-hmm.
Correcting every single one. So it was a great learning lesson for me.
Yeah. It was about
Castillo Floyd Mayweather.
Say it again? I'm sorry.
I said Castillo Floyd Mayweather. Everybody forget about those fights.
Yeah. Yeah.
They look at Floyd now, but Castillo pushed him to a whole nother level, to the limit.
Yeah.
As far as you're going to limit.
That's true. That's true. And that was about that time you started getting Tuesday night fights all the time, regularly. And
oh man,
what was that? What was your relationship like with Sean O'Grady and Steve Albert?
Oh, it's cool. I mean, they're cool, and the reason why they like my style.
Mm-hmm.
It was something about my style. They're like, okay, you're not a puncher, but hey, one, you willing to fight guys, and see, they notice that any name they bring up, I fight them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then that same name they bring up, they'll pull out. I had I think I fought in USA Tuesday Night Fights maybe 12, 13 times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Probably 11 of the fights, I didn't know who I was fighting until the Monday before.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody pull out. I mean, it was a bad thing. I'm like, man, it's not. At first, I was like, oh yeah, I'm feared. Y'all don't want to fight me. Then I got to the point where, man, they don't want to fight me. I can't get fights. And then it got real sad for me because I'm like, I want to fight that guy. I want to fight him in his prime. I want to kick him. That's why I give the Klitschko brothers so much publicity.
So much what?
I give them all the props in the world.
Yeah.
They didn't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll fight them.
Yeah. They had such a good amateur experience that I think, they felt like they saw it all, and they're not afraid of southpaws or anything. But
yeah. Europe, southpaw, Russia, and they care about southpaw. And I'm like 210 pounds.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, little guy.
Were you're never more than 210? I thought you were like 214, 215.
Yeah, no, I would weigh 214.
Okay.
Some fight, but I'm really, basically 210, 205. They know how big I was.
And that's with a big breakfast, right?
Yeah. I weighed at 208 when I fought Vitali. I weighed 208.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And kind of pudgy. You know, they looking at me like, this dude ain't no heavyweight.
Yeah. They do that a lot, though. They're always taking, like, people smaller or people with no chance. Or, I don't know. It's happening. I guess there's just no talent in the heavyweight division anymore. But
no. See, that's where it is.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The talent pool is not huge.
That's true. How'd you feel when you were fighting Phil Jackson? I remember when he fought Lennox Lewis, strong guy.
Yeah.
Really?
And I think I fought Phil. Phil had one fight, and then he fought me.
Mm-hmm.
After he fought Lennox Lewis. And Phil, because I know of his amateur background, U.S. Championships, 88, he was there.
Mm.
And I think Phil might have been in the trials also. I don't know. But I knew Phil Jackson for a long time. We were in tournaments together, like PAL tournament and the Eastern Trials and stuff like that for the Pan Am Games in '87. So I knew who Phil Jackson was. He was at light heavyweight in amateur, and he a puncher. He had a lot of knockouts, going into the fight. So I was at that time knowing who he was, knowing his background. I got to be cautious, very cautious in the ring. But then as we started fighting, I was like, okay, my skill level is. So I started talking to him a little bit, getting under his skin in the ring, just stuff like that. And I beat him over 12 rounds. And that was a big boost for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was like, man, I just beat Phil, and I beat him clean. I think I won every round.
Yeah.
I mean, clean. And I laid on the ropes a lot. Most of the fight I was on the ropes.
Yeah.
Flipping off the ropes. So I had fun doing it. So it gave me a lot of confidence to start fighting guys, higher in the division, because he just fought Lennox Lewis. I think Lennox stopped him in the 8th, maybe.
Yeah, something 7th or 8th.
Yeah, something like that. So I'm like, hey, and Lennox is a big guy.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I smoked him for 12. I mean, it wasn't even close.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, I can hang with these guys.
Yeah. And a couple fights later, you fought another big puncher, Lionel Butler.
Yeah. Lionel, watching the same guy, watching a guy like Lionel, crazy guy. As far as like having drug problems and stuff, I mean, he's a cool guy now. I talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
And, he lives. I live in San Diego. He's in L.A. area, and I go to the gym down to L.A. sometimes and talk to him. Really, I mean, is the nicest guy. To be a big guy. And I thought with Lionel, man, keep your hands up, because I see him knock out Tony Tubbs, one punch. And I'm like, dang, it didn't even look like he threw it hard. But just a tank coming at you, constantly trying to push you. But my thought was, he's not that tall. So I'm going to use my legs and my speed and make him miss. And the whole goal was frustration. If I frustrate you and I got you thinking, you done. Mm-hmm. So frustrate him to the point where he basically quit. He was like, I surrender. I don't want no more of this.
Yeah.
And I got to stop it. So, another big test passed for me, and it was just something, learning, putting it in the bank every fight, but learn something from it.
Yeah.
If I fight a Tyson, Lionel Butler experience.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Fuller, tall guy, slower, know what you're supposed to do with a tall guy.
Mm-hmm.
Make them reach, make them think, make them miss, hand speed. So, just everyone learns, especially those guys that fought champions or challenged for a title or in the mix or consider something. Learn something from every single person you fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why you're better than most people. Most people don't learn from losses and stuff. They just,
you got to learn from it.
Yeah. But at that time, you didn't have any losses, though.
Yeah, at that time I didn't, but you still learn. You still just constantly. I always just try to pick up everything.
Yeah. Then you fought Uriah Grant, another cruiserweight champ. What?
Yeah, Uriah was strong as I was like, this little guy is just keep coming. I remember that. I think I weighed more than Uriah in that fight. and one of the few fights, and I was real fat. But I looked so bad. If I look at tape and then I was like, oh man, I looked horrible as far as fat wise. But I was taking him like, oh man, come here, he a little guy. I'm looking at him now, he a little guy, because I'm so used to fighting bigger guys. And that little guy cracked. He punched hard, kept coming, and another experienced guy fighting and learning from that. Not taking stuff for granted, man, because that's where you get upset. Guys knock you out.
Yeah. And what about Levi Billups?
Oh man, he shattered my nose.
Did he?
In the first round, came over top. Ooh, hit it right on top of my nose. It pushed it out. If you look at the USA Tuesday Night Fights, if you watch that clip over, they'll show a before and after of how I look. I bled like crazy. Hit me on top of my, boom, at the end of the first round, I fought with a broke nose for 9 rounds.
Wow.
And I didn't say nothing. I just had my head down. My father kept putting Q-tips up my nose because the blood was just gushing out.
Yeah, maybe
just
I do remember that.
Yeah, little, determined, strong little guy. I was like, man, he just kept coming at me, kept trying to fight, which, another, perseverance, man. You want to push through all that, because my thing was I want to be in sparring. A lot of times I want to be in the worst possible situation so it makes me mentally tough. Because everybody at that time was saying, oh, he's safety first, he don't like no contact. I'm like, dude, I'll fight anybody. I don't care, and I ain't going to run from nobody. Hey, this is a style that's working for me now, but if I need to sit down and get in the trenches, I can do that too.
Yeah, you can.
So that's what it was. So they kept saying safety first at that time. He like sprayed these heavyweights and he feather fisted. Dude, I'm not even a heavyweight. I'm just doing my thing, man. Just doing it, having fun.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you always look like you were having fun. I can tell you.
Oh, I had.
You were loving it.
It was so much fun, man. I mean, I miss it, of course.
Yeah.
It was just so much fun. But then, later on in business, it takes a lot of fun out of it.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing.
Yeah. It's the worst.
Yeah. And what about Byrd Cooper when it was still fun?
It's funny. I'll tell you another story on boxers. I watched all these guys. Okay, they had their success sometime in their career, and then they start losing and a little bit winding down at the end of the career. Then I'll fight them. But the funny thing about Byrd was I watched him. I think the fight before he fought me, or maybe 2 fights, he weighed 252. Now Byrd only about 5'9", 5'10". So I'm looking at the guy when they bring up Byrd Cooper. I'm like, oh, come on, Byrd. Look how he looked. He came to the weigh-in. I think he weighed 222. He was in great shape. I was like, oh my god. But I still train hard. I don't take nobody for granted. I mean, I could have been a guy where I ain't gonna train that hard, or be mentally like, I'm fighting Byrd. He gonna come out of shape. Bruce Blair was his trainer / manager. Had him in great shape, and I knew Bruce, but I didn't think he would come like that. He said, "Man, this is a camp. We had 5 weeks in camp. We worked our tail off." He told me this at the weigh-in, and I'm thinking, "Hey, why you gotta do it for me?" But everybody did it for me because they gotta get ready. I called myself later on the test when I couldn't get no fights. Nobody came study for this test. So you want to face this test. But everybody studied. Everybody started. I mean, they come in great shape for me. I'm like, dang, they had the best camp ever. They knew they were facing like something different than a normal heavyweight.
Yeah. Did you feel any power from Byrd Cooper?
Yeah.
Holy
yeah,
shit.
Byrd was trying to come with that hook, trying to bring it. But I noticed in boxing, like when I'm fighting, I notice expression. First round, tough. Second round, tough. And then it started getting slower when you can't hit something. Couldn't hit me. So it was like, okay, man, this kid, and he a kid, and to him, I'm a kid. I'm still young, fresh, not even in my prime yet. I'm just coming up. And I'm like, dude, you ain't gonna hit me. I ain't gonna let you hit me with that. You crazy? So it was, after round after round, he was like, man, I'm not hurting him. Like, I want to hurt him. I might be hitting with a combination, but not hurting him. He taking it. He just keep coming. But just to coast it through a 10-round decision. Easy. Mm-hmm. You know, because basically at the end, I give up. If I can't hit you with my big one, forget it. If you ain't going to trade with me, what's the point? That's how it seems.
And then you had Frankie Swindell. What do you remember?
Oh, man. Frank, tough, man. He cut me. See, I know Frankie from amateur. I know amateur Frankie. And I know experienced Frankie. Frankie's fan 165. And I remember, you know, amateur, because I'm a big amateur buff from when I was a little kid. Mm-hmm. We used to get out of the magazine. And Frank Swindell I think he's from Nashville. Yeah. Or Chattanooga, one of them. I think he's from Tennessee. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm fighting Frank. And then I seen him fight, you know, Michael Moore and light heavyweight. And I see him through the years. And I'm like, hey, he's going to be tough. You know, I view boxers different than most people. They may say the name and think, you know, you fighting Frank Swindell. I was like, man, no, I'm fighting Frankie. One, I just signed with Main Event. Two, it was like 4 weeks' notice. Mm. I mean, they called me short notice. We want you to fight on this ESPN card when I just signed with Main Event and against Frank Swindell. So I'm like, dang. So he was tough. Man, he was tough to me. He's a short guy. I mean, I probably on the scorecard beat him pretty easy, but he brought it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even though he looked like rerun from What's Happening.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
still tough guy.
Run brother. Yeah,
he's a tough though. Yeah.
Just veteran, you know. He boxing savvy, man. He can get by on just experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Man.
You know, and that's how it is with me, with guys that you know, had a lot of experience. I'm not a puncher. Now, if I was a puncher, it'd be totally different. Mm-hmm. I would blue guys out. I mean, it would have been like, okay, he wasn't that good. I just knock him out. But I got to go 10 rounds on most of the fights. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, he's not going to knock me out. He's going to beat me over 10 rounds so I can teach his kids some things along the way. Mm-hmm. And that's what a lot of guys did. But I picked it all up, too, though.
Yeah, you did.
You know.
Yeah. Then you fought a strong guy, Jimmy Thunder, another USA 200 fight guy.
Yeah, see, that was a thing with everybody, you know, Tuesday night fight, and he was at that time. Mm-hmm. He was like one of the only guys that wanted to fight me.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't get much interest from anybody else, and it was HBO, and I'm thinking, man, I know I'm gonna fight somebody that's tight on HBO. Everybody gonna come. And Jimmy Thunder was the only one. Yeah. And I'm like, well, let's fight Jimmy then. I guess I have to fight him. And, you know, in boxing, he had just fought Mo Harris. Mm-hmm. And Mo Harris, and nobody want to fight Mo Harris. So I see him fight Mo Harris, and Mo Harris beat him. And I'm like, he ain't gonna hit me. I mean, he might be strong and he come forward. In boxing, anything can happen. I mean, especially heavyweights, man. You hit one punch, it changes everything for your life. Mm-hmm. But I was thinking, you know, at that time, he ain't gonna hit me. He ain't gonna be able to handle this. Mm-hmm. And he didn't. I mean, he tried. Mm-hmm. Of course, he's strong and trying to get there, but. You know, skill level wise, we were night and day as far as skill. Power wise, we were night and day. He was day and night. I was still in the morning somewhere. But, you know, just skill level was, I mean, I can say my skill level was just too much. It was the perfect style for me also. Mm-hmm. I mean, you coming straight ahead.
Yeah. I remember the only thing that would move on Jimmy Thunder was his arms. Nothing else moved.
That's it. He's just right there. Like a big brick.
I remember he was trying to do some he was trying to learn and incorporate some kind of body movement. And it just it looked funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He just let me break. He just there, just strong. Just. I mean, you couldn't even pinch him.
Yeah, I know.
You couldn't pinch skin on it because he was so tight.
Yeah, that guy was big, man. Big guy.
Yeah.
Then you fought Eliezer Castillo.
Oh, Eliezer, yeah.
Actually,
Castillo,
Jimmy Thunder was your first fight on HBO, wasn't it?
Yep.
How'd you feel about that? Were you nervous going on to HBO to fight?
Oh, heck yeah, man. I was nervous. I was like, man, see this, because, you growing up, and especially through my amateur, I couldn't afford HBO. We always went over somebody else's house when the fights were on. Somebody that had a little bit of money, they could afford cable, and watch a fight. And I'm like, man, this is the biggest you can get in boxing. It's HBO. And then the Tyson fights, I remember all Tyson fights. I remember Forever Young by Rod Stewart, the song. Yeah. They'll play for Mike Tyson. I mean, I still remember that stuff, but I'm like, man, that's where I want to be. I want to be on HBO. So for me, HBO was the tick. I mean, it's still to me. I mean, it was just huge. If you had HBO boxing, you arrived. I got the HBO boxing, and I was even supposed to be a heavyweight. And I'm fighting on HBO, so I was nervous. I wanted to impress. I wanted to do, everything. That was my world, man.
Yeah. Was George Foreman there?
Yeah.
Did he talk to you?
George Foreman?
With George Foreman?
Yeah, he commentated. He didn't like me.
No? No, he didn't like you.
and I got theory on that on the Foreman. Who did Foreman lose to?
Yeah, exactly.
He lost to Ali, Jimmy Young, in his before he came back.
Yeah.
I'm Ali, Jimmy Young mix.
Yeah.
I'm a boxer. Yeah. He didn't like my style.
That's it. And give him nightmares.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, man.
I like whatever. Yeah, whatever. I like whatever.
Yeah. So he didn't give you any kind of props at all? He just ignored you?
Yeah, he gave me a little bit, for, on the announcement, but a lot of times he knocked me out. Him and Larry Merchant, I guess they tag team together.
Well, Larry Merchant, I thought would like you. I know he loved Pernell Whitaker and stuff.
Yeah, he loved Pernell, but his thing with me was a heavyweight shouldn't be a boxer. He shouldn't be like a little guy.
No. Yeah. A lot of people try to shut Larry up.
Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't be like a little guy. So I'm like, okay, but that's your opinion.
Yeah, he could be offensive sometimes. He doesn't know how to put things gently.
Oh, he killed me. He didn't like me at all. I mean, when I was boxing, we cool now. Okay. I mean, now I talk to him, but when I fought Ike, oh my God, it was horrible.
Yeah. I don't remember him. I don't remember anything he said about you.
Oh, he called me less. He called me less than a man.
Wow.
And Roy had to check him on air and say that. How you gonna call me less than a man? I weighed 208 for the fight. Ike weighed 244.
Yeah.
244 pure muscle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you serious?
Yep. Well, before you fought Ike, you fought Castillo. How'd you fight Eliezer Castillo?
Left-handed Cuban. Wanting to impress after Jimmy Thunder fight, HBO. I trained. I burnt my body so bad. I take nothing away for Castillo or winning. I mean, I won fairly easy. But I didn't have nothing in the 10th round. I mean, nothing. I could barely keep my hands up. I was shot.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, man, I burnt my body out so much. But come to find out, I have allergy. Oh, I'm allergic to wheat. Highly, probably the worst you will ever see with wheat. You take my shoes off and feet and bring a bag of bread by me, I'll probably fall over.
Wow. It's like that?
I was that allergic to wheat. Matter of fact, when I fought Jimmy Thunder, I fell out. I was supposed to do an on-air interview. They had to rush me to the hospital, and they said it on air. So when people say, if I have an excuse about something, I say, well, watch when I fought Jimmy Thunder. They'll say, well, they rushed Byrd to the hospital.
When you said you were allergic to wheat, I remember hearing something like that from about someone. I didn't remember it was about you though, but yeah, I remember.
I was highly allergic and didn't know it at the time, and didn't know it.
Yeah.
I didn't know it until before I fought David Thune.
That's weird. It's a weird allergy.
Because I kept falling out after every fight.
Yeah.
Castillo, I kept falling out.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what was wrong.
And you found out right after the Castillo fight?
No, after I fought Maurice Harris, that's when I found out. Because I fell out. We stayed in New York City a day after. I fell out 3 times. I just kept falling out. They rushed me to the hospital. I'm like, what is wrong? And then they tested me when I got back to Michigan. They tested me and said I had a wheat allergy. Allergy. No, it wasn't even Michigan. I'm sorry. I moved to Vegas. That's what they thought. Before I fought Evander Holyfield. That's when they knew I was allergic to wheat.
Wow. It's a weird one. Never heard of it before you. I guess you're the only one.
Yeah. No, a lot of people are allergic to wheat. Gluten free.
Is it?
That's why
the
market for gluten free is huge.
Oh yeah.
All these people, they don't eat it. My daughter was like that. She took after me.
Yeah. Wow. And no one else in your family was like that?
Not that I know of. My daughter's like that. Hopefully my son don't get that, because he'll be playing college basketball in like 2 years.
You got that kind of age kid, man? I can't believe it.
I got.
How old are you?
I'm 41. I'll be 42 in August.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Got a college kid.
That must mean I'm older too. It's crazy.
How old are you?
I'm 35. I'll be 36 tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm 36. Time just keeps going by, man. What did you say?
When you be 36?
Tomorrow.
I hear you.
Tomorrow.
For real?
Yeah. It's crazy. Time just keeps going by, man. Can't stop it.
I ain't gonna wait on nobody.
Yeah. All I had to do is think about it. It must be in your 40s, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
Time go by so fast.
Don't it, man? Yeah. Then you fought Ross Purity. another big puncher.
Ross the Ball.
Yeah, the Balls.
We fought on, I remember that strong Tuesday night fight. But the thing about him, he cover up 90% of the time he boxed. Because he a football player. And his whole thing is, if I catch you with one punch, I never let him get a chance to do nothing like that. I was like, man, he's a big, strong guy, but, I looked at guys like him with I respected him with power. I respected that. But I'm like, dude, you don't know how to fight. You ain't no fighter. And I said, I've been boxing my whole life. I ain't gonna let you come and crack me, with something stupid, and you really don't know how to fight. Come on, man. So, and that was just a rule of mine. And you better have some amateur background. You better know how to fight before you get in the ring with me. And that was my thought. This is what I do, man. I love the sport, and I studied the sport a lot. Studied a lot of heavyweights. So, but he was a big, strong guy. He tried to bring it, but as soon as, with me, guys, if they can't hit something, instead of just win the round, you still can steal rounds without hitting somebody clean. Because you make me cover up, you're more active, you'll win the round. But most guys, they shell up, and they'll stop throwing. So he stopped throwing. I love guys throwing punches at me because I'll make you miss. And once I make you miss, you stop throwing, and that's what he did. So, just 10-round decision. Nobody knocks out Ross. He covers up. He a turtle. That shell, you won't hit him.
That's right. After the Purity fight, you fought at Babe Bucci. What do you remember? A lot of people say he would have beat Lennox Lewis and he would have been the dominant champ. What do you think about that? Think he would have been dominating guy? What did you feel when you fought him?
He would have beat. He probably would have beat everybody. He probably would. See, Lennox Lewis can't take pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Not real well. I mean, he took it with Ray Mercer, but now you got a 6'2", 245-pound, skilled Ray Mercer. You know what I'm saying? Take a punch. Ike did something in the ring that I still can remember. He bent his knees, and when I seen him do that, it freaked me out. I notice everything in the ring, and I know it. I notice when guys with some talent or know how to think in the ring, I know what they do. And when he did that, I was like, uh-oh. I was like, wow. Because he came at me, and he bent his knees to slip punches. And I'm like, nobody bent their knees. I'm the only one bent my knees. You know, just something that simple. And I'm like, and then Curtis Coates he's smart. Hit him anywhere. He see me slipping. Even one time at the end of the round, he smiled and tapped me on the butt like, man, I can't hit this dude. You know, every time I hit him, if I'm on the ropes. But if in the middle of the ring, I'm not going to be able to hit him. So he said hit him anywhere. And sure enough, he hit me anywhere, and he applied the pressure. That's what he's supposed to do. He's 244 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought the pressure, and I slipped into a punch. You know, I slipped into something that was brutal. I mean, brutal. And it really, you know, it took a lot out of me as far as thinking that, you know, these guys can't hit me. Not like that. And it made me realize again, keep them hands up. Hands up and try to keep the fight in the middle of the ring. My father was telling me that the whole time, but I love being on the ropes. I love it. I want you, bro. But, you know, I just got caught. And with that punch, it could have been any heavyweight that night. It didn't have to just be Ike. Anybody hit me with that punch, I'm going down. But it so happened to be Ike, and he's a, you know, big, strong guy, but you know, I can't say it remains to be seen because he can never fight. But maybe he would have reigned. But why? It's funny that they talk about Ike and being the next great one, basically because he beat me, who they had rated number 9, who all the critics dogged. I mean, every single one. I can't punch. I'm not big enough. He's not worthy being in the division. But Ike beat me. Now he's hailed as the next king. Like, are you serious? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think they were impressed that he caught you. He caught you.
But still.
Then they couple that with the fight that he had with David Tua and the punches he took.
But if you read everything after that, which I did, they didn't bring up David Tua. Maybe a few guys brought up David Tua and him beating David. You know, to this day, a lot of people don't even know he fought David Tua. They don't even never fought. But he beat Chris Byrd. He would have been something great. I'm like, for real?
Man,
wow.
That's how you get your respect.
Yeah, I'm getting smoked. So, but even with that, in the boxing world, going to the boxers, I still couldn't get fights. It was like, oh, he got lucky. So I still couldn't get the fights that I wanted. I mean, not at all. I mean, I was like, okay, now it's time. Now everybody open up and say, okay, he hittable. And still couldn't get fights. I was like, man, this is crazy.
So you were 26-0 when you fought Ike. How did it feel to lose that perfect record at that point in your life?
Look, like my father would say, all good things must come to an end. And that's I lost it amateur. I mean, I chopped it up. I think I came back and fought 5 weeks later. I'm like, I just want to get back on the horse. It's going to come sometime. You stay there long enough, it'll come. Especially heavyweight. You get caught, that one punch factor is no joke. No joke. So, I honestly, I was a little down after the fight. I'm like, dang. I was just mad that I lost because I thought I would fight Lennox Lewis. If I would have won, I thought, okay, I'm in line to fight Lennox for real. It made me legit. And that's what I was down about. Losing is part of the sport, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's part of, you know, you don't want to lose, but it happens. It's how you come back. That's the big thing.
Yeah. That's true. It's a mark of a champion.
Yeah.
Then in your next fight, you fought just a few weeks later, like you said, you fought John Sargent. How'd you feel going out to the ring with that in the back of your head?
I was so ready to fight. I was so ready to fight. I was like, man, let's do this. That's why I said I didn't get back in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And that's 30 days suspension for getting TKO, and I fought 5 weeks. You know, and that was that was on the 5th week I got to fight. So I was so ready to get back in the ring, and they brought in this guy. I think John Sargent's record was 22-2.
22-1.
And I'm thinking 22. Or even better, 22-1. It was 22-2 afterwards. But John was. I was like, come on, who did John really fight? He weighed like I don't know how much he weighed, but it like he was carrying the kid on his back. What?
285. 285.
285. It's like he was carrying the kid on his back. I was like, come on, he no shape. I'm a pulse guy, so I know when the pulse is low, I'm always trying to get my pulse in the 30s. That means I'm in alternate shape. I think his pulse was like 99. Like, are you serious? And they brought him in, in the ring. Man, I hit him with, you know, fast punches, and I think I even dropped him. I was like, wow. Yeah. And then I stopped the fight first, second round. I don't know. But it was great getting back in the ring, and I just wanted to fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to take time off because I lost and you know, wallow in it and cry, and I forget that. Let's fight. I'm a boxer. I like boxing. I like to be active. And if you lose, oh well, I'm gonna come back.
Yeah. Yep.
So it was just part of it. I wasn't crying over it.
Mm-hmm. And you won a few fights, and then you got the right to fight Klitschko for the title, for the WBO title.
That's 8 days notice.
Yeah.
I got the call on Thursday, the Thursday prior to that next Saturday. Mm-hmm. So I was training for Adolfo Washington. We were fighting in Vegas.
Okay. And
Adolfo Washington, probably about 5'11". I had never seen Vitaly Klitschko fight in my life. I heard about him. I heard about his brothers more because he won 96 Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard about him, and I'm like, okay, I heard he was like 6'7", 6'8", 245. I'm like, okay, another big clumsy guy. But he was 28-0 with 28 knockouts. That's what got my attention. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Dude can crack. I'm like, man. And then I started thinking about Ike stuff. I'm like, man, I got caught by Ike. I got to be careful. But I think this is a different dynamic because he's 6'7", 6'8". So, damn, what do we got? So, putting that into consideration. But when they told me, do I want to take the fight, I'm like, man, we'll fight. Let's do it today. I'll fight anybody. I don't care. Let's go. Fight in Germany. I mean, I've been in Germany since I was amateur. So I was really excited for the BO title. I'm like, okay, back on HBO, I get a chance to fight. So it was an exciting time.
Yeah. When you went to Germany to fight a Klitschko, how did they treat you in Germany?
Oh man, it was pretty good. I mean, the build up to the fight was crazy. I mean, they do it right, man. It was crazy. You know, I was just the opponent. It was his HBO coming out party. You know, he just signed with HBO, and I'm just another opponent that comes over there, go a few rounds, get knocked, and then get knocked out and go home. I was supposed to be that guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Vladimir said through translation at the press conference because all the media was saying that I was gonna, get blown away, bring another guy over. And he was like, no, the guy can fight. Vladimir kept saying that. Don't underestimate him. He can fight. And they're like, yeah, look how small he is. So, in that, I take all that as motivation. With the media saying and all that stuff. So I'm like, let's do it. I don't care how big he is.
Yeah. How long were you training for your other fight?
What's that?
You already had a fight scheduled. How long were you in training for that fight?
I think I was in training maybe, 3 weeks? I already trained 5 weeks for any fight. 4 to 5 weeks. I'm always in shape. I was already like 3 weeks into the fight, into the training. Because I think I was fighting the week after I was supposed to fight Vitaly. Or maybe that same day. Something like that.
Who'd you get to spar with that could look like a Vitaly Klitschko after you find out your opponent's like height switched from not even
nobody.
6 foot? Yeah, you didn't switch anything?
Nobody. No, because I got the call Thursday after training. Friday, I had to go. I stay in Michigan. I had to go to Chicago to get my passport fast. So we went to Chicago, and so Friday was the day I trained. Could get no sparring. Saturday we had to go to Chicago, get my passport. I was off to Germany on Sunday.
Wow.
So it was that fast. And then I had to fight that next Saturday. So I didn't get no sparring at all.
That stinks, man.
Yeah.
So what do you say about the fight? What happened during the fight? How did Vitaly treat you during the promotion for the fight?
Oh, he's cool, man. Both him and Vladimir, they're nicest guys, man. They're cool. They're gentlemen. It's just, it's in the ring. You got to fight. It's part of it. It's funny about that fight because when I got to the ring, we went to the middle of the ring. Everybody started laughing. I was like, are you serious? I'm thinking that. Are they serious? Everybody laughed. They were cracking up. I'm like, what's it, a comedy show now? Because he was so much bigger than me. And they were just laughing. I'm like, okay, all right, I was like, okay, give me 4 rounds. If I get past out of 4 rounds, because I didn't know what he had, how hard he hit, I didn't know anything. If I get out of 4 rounds, I'm changing everybody's mind. So I went back to the corner after we met in the middle of the ring, and I was like, okay, Lord, this is it. I'm here now. I'm going to fight. I'm just going to fight this big dude. I'm going to box him, out-slick him. I'm going to do whatever. And then, the bell rang. I'm like, man, I'm getting hit with punches. If you watch the fight over, I got hit a lot in the first round. This dude was hitting me because he was so tall. I was flipping punches, but he's tagging me at the same time. And I'm thinking, man, I gotta do something else. So, second round, same thing. I'm trying to slip, and then after the third round, my brother was like, "Take it to him. Forget that. Don't." My brother Patrick was in the corner with my father, and my mother, my brother, my mother, my father, and he said, "Just take it to him. She can't fight going backward." I'm 200. I weighed at 208 with diarrhea. I had diarrhea so bad, I probably crapped myself in the ring. and he said, take it to him. So I was like, okay, I'm going to abort my game plan of boxing and just put my hands up and just start just marching at him. He got to beat me like that. And see, I'm a lefty. I throw really good body shots. I mean, really good. You ever see Lucien Boutte? The way he throws his body shots as a lefty? That's me. I mean, I throw. Everybody know me. If they spar with me, the first thing they bring up is, man, don't get hit to the body. Oh man, Chris Byrd hit me to the body. I just throw good body shots because I'm a lefty, and I wait for that right hand to come across, and I slip, come up under. So my whole game plan in the fight was, let me see if I can land my body shots out there and see if it works. So I hit him. I'm hitting him. I'm like, and I'm catching him. He do nothing. But in the 4th round, he grunted a little bit. I'm like, whoa, it's getting to him. I'm coming at him, and I'm trying to hit him with that punch. I sit down for the 4th round. They cheering my name, the German crowd. Cheering, I mean, like crazy. I felt like a black Rocky.
Yeah,
I was like, are you kidding? These Byrd. I was like, wow, they turned on their guy. And then on German TV, so we're going at it. I'm just fighting. I'm just trying to come at him and fight. I don't care if I got hit with anything. I'm just trying to make it a fight. On German TV, they had it 5-4 either way. That's how they had it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And then I'm getting told this after the fight, after the fact. And, you know, American TV had me blown out. Okay, whatever. I'm just trying to hang in the fight. And then he quit. Who quit?
Mm-hmm.
See, I come from a school of, you better have something really, I mean, to the point where, hey, if I'm in that situation, honestly, I think I'm winning, big, I'm keeping my belt. I had to fight one arm. I don't care. I'll do something. That's just me. I mean, I fought with separated ribs, broke nose, tooth hanging, I mean, all that. I'm not quit. Eardrum busted in the 1st round. I'm not going to quit. I'm not even going to think about quit.
Yeah.
And he quits. And I'm like, dude, I mean, I jumped up. I cried. I was like, you kid. But then I stopped. When I went back to the locker room, everybody in the locker room, because it's my family. And we're like this. You don't quit? Because we call people, anybody like in a gym setting or in a fight at an arena, you a coward. Don't quit this, because this is boxing. It's like football. Same thing with football now with all the head injuries. It's an unwritten rule with the guy. You don't quit. You go back out there and play if you hurt. Oh well. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's how it's a gladiator sport, man. You're supposed to put everything, especially when you champion. You don't quit. And I put that out there. I put it out there, you know, in interviews and everything. I'm like, man, you don't quit, man. You don't quit. And that's why he got redemption with Lennox Lewis.
Yeah.
You know it. He didn't quit. After that big cut, he still wanted to fight.
Yeah.
After you go cower out and move your shoulder a little bit after, come on, man. This is boxing.
How happy were you when they did quit, though?
Oh, man.
You got that championship.
Hey, you seen it on, you can see it on video on YouTube. I jumped straight up in the air, man. I cried. My brother jumped in the ring. I was like, are you serious? Because I thought about, stuff flashed in my mind big time. You know, the nightclub.
Yeah.
Me being a super middleweight. All this stuff came, I mean, flash. I'm champion. All this stuff flashed in my mind. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Amazing.
I was like, God is good, man. I mean, I got to a point where I can fight this big, a true heavyweight in his home country. He got to build everything going for him, and he quit. Thank you.
Yeah. Wow.
It was bittersweet, though. Believe me, it was bittersweet.
Yeah. What was bitter about it?
Well, promotion.
Yeah.
You know, they got a junction against me. I don't even supposed to talk about them. So it just the promotion side of it was. Look, what? How can? Okay, the Klitschko brothers, and I'll say nothing about. It's not them. It's not their doing. But the Klitschko brothers are gonna never fight each other. Everybody know it. How is he number one contender?
Yeah.
How is Vladimir number one contender? And he fights 2 fights. When I took off 6-7 months, he fights 2 fights to warm him up to fight me. He's number one contender to his brother. No, they ain't gonna never fight. All of a sudden, he's number one contender. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I mean, it was just like this. It was a bad 6 months because, you know, I didn't have my promoter. Option. It's an option thing. And it was bittersweet. I mean, the sweet was winning, but, man, a lot of bitter come with it afterwards. But that's all I'll say about that. I mean, I take nothing away from Vladimir. Dude beat me.
Do you mean Vitaly? Vitaly, right?
No,
You're talking about Vladimir? I was talking about when you won the title stuff. You're talking about the 6 months later when you won the title.
When I won the title, it was sweet. But then on the bitter day, because the next one is Vladimir, and I'll take nothing away from Vladimir. He beat me, but just the business of boxing, man, is... Ooh, if you know what half these guys go through before a fight, and then you expect them to fight and do well, and then worry about this crap.
Well, why did you agree to go back to Germany after you already beat Vitaly?
Why did I agree? They had options of me.
Okay.
I had no choice. I was a guy that I'm rude. I'm a slave. I'm a slave to whoever. Whatever they wanted me to do, and however they wanted me to do it, I had to do it. I had to do it. So, you know, it was bad.
So what was the difference between promoting the Vitaly fight and promoting the first Vladimir fight? What's the difference there? They tried to make it harder on you during the...
What? Oh, my... Man, it was... Well, if you look at... with Vladimir, he had 2 fights from the time I fought his brother until he fought. He had 2 fights, and he had an open exhibition, so it's really 3 fights. I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't have exhibition. I couldn't do nothing, just sit. And I didn't know who I was fighting. That's the funny thing about it. I didn't know I was fighting until maybe 4 weeks before. 4 or 5 weeks at the most. And I'm like, are you serious? They kept throwing these names out there. I'm like, okay, I'll fight. I was supposed to fight on the undercard of Lennox Lewis fought in London, and they wanted me to fight on the undercard. Vladimir fought. I'm like, what? And they told me then, after the Vitaly fight, we will be fighting in London. It's going to be a double hitter in London with Lennox Lewis. I'm like, cool. But Vladimir fought. I'm like, Vladimir not even in the mix. Why is he fighting? Because he had lost to Ross Purity, and he dropped way down, and his brother was the man. And then his brother lost. They tried to make him the man, back the man again. I was like, that's just the business, man. I mean, when I wasn't a popular guy, I wasn't a heavyweight fan favorite, so I wasn't in that mix. You know, so I was like, oh, it is what it is, man. I can't do nothing about that.
Now, which of the brothers gave you a harder fight? Which one would you rather have to deal with again? Who would win if they fought? Who would win if they fought? The 2 brothers.
Honestly, in my opinion, Vitaly, the older brother, is harder. Style-wise, he's not Vladimir is a much 3 times harder. And Vladimir in heavyweight boxing, Vladimir catch him, you gonna knock him out. And the dude can crack. I mean, different kind of power, but as far as skill-wise and being so unorthodox in style with Vitaly, and he got heart, and he got condition. Dude go 12 rounds throwing punches. You know, he's just hard. It's just hard in doing that, man. It'd be a hard fight for Vladimir because Vladimir's so flat-footed, and the style matchup, it'd be hard for him. And he's standing a little bit taller than Vladimir. Now he's fighting somebody he got to punch up or eye level with. It'd be hard for him. So, my personal opinion, I go with Vitaly. Not because I'm saying because I got the win over him and dude beat me twice. It's just matchup. Because he's just hard to fight.
Yeah, I think I'd pick Vitaly too. Yeah. He's a harder guy, you know.
Yeah.
He's a angry guy, I think.
He is. He's really, to them too, he's the older brother.
Yeah.
And he is. He act like the older brother. He running it. Hey, I got the hard. Hey, my brother got knocked out by him. Let me fight him.
Yeah.
You know.
How'd you feel when you went down in the 9th and 11th rounds with Vladimir? How hurt were you in those knockdowns?
Oh man, I was out. I was. Man, I'm fighting a young. I think Vladimir was 24.
Young.
25, youngster coming in, 6'7". My wife is white. When Vladimir took off his shirt, she was like, "I never seen a white boy cut like that outside of a bodybuilder." He was so raw. I was like, our whole camp was like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, he was jacked. And I'm like, man, he ready for me. I'm like, woo. And I'm thinking, okay, I don't care. Let's go. A great game plan. Just kept me, hey, he's 6'7". He keep you at the end of a jab, super strong, 240 pounds, 45 pounds. Just it's style matchup. When you got a style where I'm not a puncher, and I would consider that one time the best boxer in the division. How do you outbox somebody that know how to use his height and reach? That know how to use it when they're tall. When you know how to use your height and reach, no way in heck am I gonna let a short guy beat me. That was my thing. That was me.
Yeah. Yep.
If I got reach and height, I know how to use it. I'm going to work it. If you beat me, you better clip me. You better knock me out and counter off my mistake. But because I'm not going to let you in. I can't. If I got 3 or 4 inches on you and got 3 or 4 inches on you in reach, I know how to use it. And I'm going to use it too very well. I don't care if everybody booing. I'm a boxer style you from a distance. That's what he did with me. Keep me at bay. He kept me at bay with strength. He a ox. Dude could punch, but smart game plan. He was patient with me, very patient, just boxing, breaking me down instead of going for anything. So, style wise, he was better. That night, I always feel like, man, I get you. I don't care how many times you beat me. Give me a chance. If you fight me, I'm gonna figure out a way to beat you.
Yeah. Stink that it didn't happen that night.
Oh, it didn't happen that night or the next time.
But the next time you will. Just get a trilogy going.
Yeah.
So
if I was still boxed, it would have been a trilogy.
I know you wanted it. So you're a fighter.
Yeah.
What do you how do you feel when you lost the title, your championship? You work all the time getting it. How did you feel?
The DO?
Yeah.
I was hurt. I mean, it was a long flight home, man. Because, especially for me, where do I go? And that's what they always said about me. Nobody don't want me. Networks didn't want me. Promoters didn't want me because I wasn't so-called attractive to the public. So, where do I go? And so on the plane ride back with my promoter, trying to figure out, and my lawyer and my wife, what do we do next? Guys don't want to fight you. Networks really don't want you. And I'm like, where do I go from here? Dang, boxing's supposed to be like this? And I never thought about going down in weight, which I should have at that time. I could have. I put like that. But I was like, now I'm going to fight heavyweight. So you get back on the wagon, you fight in the small shows again. You fight, the small market, you stay active. And I try to do that. And then my lawyer got the best boxing attorney ever. Still is to this day, the best, and he's still doing his thing. Making calls, connecting with people. Got me into my goal was in boxing, I just want to be mandatory number one contender. If I can get to that spot, I know I got a title fight coming. You got to fight. And sure enough, I get into the IBF tournament, for the mandatory spot, 4 guys, and nobody wanted to fight. Everybody dropping out. It was crazy. I'm like, are you serious? Look who I fought. I'm number 9. I fight Maurice Harris, who was 15. Nobody want to fight him either. I'm like, you guys are cowards, man. The big guys, they're cowards. And it's a lot to do with their management team, but a lot to do with them too. I'm not doing that. I go to the gym People won't even spar with me. I mean, the whole gym is on lock. Nobody, all these heavyweights, and nobody wants to spar with me. I'm like, are you serious? Look at me. No, dude, you embarrass us.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man.
They don't want to look like fools, man.
Yeah, but still, that should be just, I want to spar with him. I want to learn. I want to get, to a certain point. But that's how it was. So that's how it was when I got into the, trying to get back into the mix in the tournament. Then I had to fight Mo Harris, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And I can honestly tell you, at that time, I followed the training. He came out to Southern California, where he came to L.A. He sparred. He had the best camp he ever had. Talked to everybody at the camp. Before and after, because he know he going against a hard one, but I knew I was going against a hard one too.
Yeah, yeah.
So I brought in DeVero Williamson, who I thought was like him, and DeVero can crack. Hardest puncher I've ever faced in sparring and anything else.
Yeah. Wow.
Dude, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Touch of sleep.
I mean, hey, his nickname is Truth.
Yeah.
I've never felt nothing like that ever.
Wow. Even harder than a babuchi.
Look, I'm telling you, I've never felt nothing like that ever. And when we fought each other, if you'd have hit me like Ike, I'd probably be still in the hospital. I'm telling you, I've never. Anybody that sparred with him or fought him would tell you, if they got hit by him like this. Wow, I never got hit nothing like that before.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was just tough. I had to fight Mo Harris, and I'm thinking, man, I'm fighting a slick, tall, slick guy. So this is difficult for me.
Yeah. Now, how'd you feel when you were fighting him at the Garden? How'd you feel when you saw your name?
Oh man, I'm a historian, man.
Yeah.
I always go back. My thing is, I mean, all the great fights, Ray Robinson.
Yeah.
Everybody else, everybody in between. I mean, Emil Griffin, names coming to my head, and I'm like, but Ali Frazier, biggest fight ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
In my opinion, I mean, they shut a war down. A war. They stopped a war. We're gonna take a break today and watch a fight. So I'm like fighting in the guard. You gotta be kidding. So I was excited, man. I'm like, I don't care. We're gonna go at it. I mean, we're gonna see who got better skills with me and Mo Harris. And sure enough, when he couldn't hit me like he wanted to, I'm slipping punches. It kind of, it just took something out of him. He was like, man, you slicker than I thought. And it was good. And I fell out. After the fight, I was in the hospital that night and the night after that. I fell out 3 times after the fight.
That's from the wheat?
Oh, yeah. Allergy? So it was hot. Yep, the wheat allergy. And then before I fought David Tua, that's when in Michigan, a lady helped me get through it. She didn't know it was wheat, but she helped me get through it. She put me on a special diet because 2 weeks before the fight, I was in the hospital again.
Wow.
And I thought it was dehydration, but it's wheat allergy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's serious. It's serious.
Yeah. Yeah. My aunt had an allergy to shellfish, and she ate a shrimp one time, and that's when she found out she was allergic to it, and her tongue swelled up. She couldn't breathe for anything.
I got that too.
Did you? Shellfish too?
Yeah, I got shellfish allergy too. And mine is sweat-induced, only when I sweat.
Oh, wow.
So I can actually eat the shellfish. Nothing won't happen to me, but as soon as I start sweating, I'll swell up like hitch.
Wow. It's weird.
It happened to me probably like 7 times in my life. One time I almost died.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's serious.
And I got funny.
I'm allergic to shellfish,
and I got that. Shellfish will kill me, literally.
Yeah.
And the wheat, I'm allergic to wheat, sugar, dairy products. But the strongest is the wheat. I mean, the doctor, the homeopathic doctor said, I've never seen nobody like you before in my life. If I go into a store, go by the bread section, and hang there too long while that wheat together, I start getting headaches.
Wow.
I mean, and then I start getting dizzy. I'm like, what the heck is wrong? But now I know. So I can't hang around that stuff too long. It kills me.
Never did hear of it. Guess you could be allergic to anything. I heard of people being allergic to water.
Yeah.
Bizarre,
hey, that'd be a bad one there, though.
Yeah, wouldn't it? That would suck.
That'd be terrible. I mean, horrible.
Yep. That would be the worst. You're made of it.
I know.
Yeah.
It's in you. You always something wrong with you.
Yeah. So, then the tournament, you're still an IBF heavyweight title eliminator. You fought David Tua.
Oh, yeah. You know they try to sue to get me out of the tournament.
Did they? Jeez, you have crazy things happening to you. Nobody has these things happen. Trying to sue you to get you out of a tournament?
Yeah, they try to sue, saying I wasn't worthy. And the thing is, why didn't y'all sue against get Mo Harris out of it? He was 15.
Yeah.
You didn't sue to try to get him out, but you're going to try to sue to get me out because I beat Maurice Harris. He knocks out Donnell Nicholson, my Olympic teammate, and then that's when the suing, so they're going to sue, and then they lowball offer. Yeah, so it was bad. I mean, they lowballed me big time. I mean, it was pitiful. For how much you make for the fight, I'm like, come on, for eliminator, this is a big one too. and my thing was, I don't care, I take it. I feel I can beat him. So, and the goal for me, Lennox Lewis. At that time, I wanted Lennox Lewis. I didn't care. That's who I want. He's considered the best heavyweight in the world. Let's do it.
After Mo Harris, after the Mo Harris fight, you were feeling it?
After Mo Harris, I'm like, now I'm one fight from Lennox Lewis. One fight. And I got to go through a tough one, but one fight. And a lot of people thought it was going to be like Ike's situation. But he's stronger than Ike. You know, he got a better hook. He got a better chin. He's more determined. They had a very, very close fight. So Ike knocked him out, in like 4 rounds. So I think David, probably knocked him out in 2. So I'm like, okay, let's do this. But y'all don't see what's happening underneath, behind the scenes. He's trying to sue me. He don't want to fight me. Like, come on. So that didn't go through. Fight happened. And sure enough, we went 12 rounds. I beat him over 12 rounds, which was a blessing. I mean, I got through the fight. David's a tough guy, could punch, but I just, outmaneuvered him and won enough rounds to win the fight. So I was happy with that. I'm mandatory number one contender.
Yeah.
Where you look at Lennox Lewis through his career as champion, he picked guys. Picked Shannon. Picked a guy from that was in the Olympics with us from Yugoslavia, I think, or he picked guys. They didn't fight their way to him. Maybe one guy. Like, let's do this. So now I'm hearing rumors from his camp that he's not gonna fight me. He don't want to fight you. I'm like, come on now, please, come on. Sure enough, we're going through all this stuff, and the Tyson comes up. And I was like, okay, cool. At first, I was like, step aside. Well, you gonna pay me step aside money for let Tyson come through? And then I'm like, and then he, balking about that and stuff. And then I was like, bump it, fight him. But winner guaranteed to fight me next. Okay, we'll think about it. Tyson fight happened. Immediately give up the belt. And then they put it on Don King like he gave him $1 million in a Range Rover for him to give up the belt. I'm like, dude, we already heard that he was going to give up the belt. And then Don, that's a whole nother story. But the whole nother story I can't talk about because he got me under gag order 2. So, yeah, it's crazy. This business is just dirt.
And how long is the gag order staying? Like, you got to go to court over it? You have to go to court over the gag order eventually?
Yeah. If I say anything, I don't say nothing about Don, so don't even print it. Don't print it. I mean, I'm not saying nothing anyway, but I you know, about both of them. It's the German is like a 6 months in jail or $250,000 fine, and I think Don's even worse. So I don't say nothing. I'm like, man, this business is just, you know, it suck a lot of love out of you. And people tell me with my defenses after Evander, you know, he didn't look that great. But man, I guess I went through. If you look at the crap I went through before a fight, you wouldn't look good either.
Yeah. That's true.
I mean, it's a lot. It's just so much, man. So I'm like, but you know, God is good because I still got a chance to win titles and have defenses and do that stuff, and even going through all the stuff.
Yeah. You did fight Evander. What do you remember about that fight? You going for the vacant heavyweight championship?
In awe. I mean, I was like literally, like, wow. And I fought Evander, you know, a little past his prime, maybe a lot, but he just beat some rock bot.
Mm-hmm.
They thumping. I mean, they thumping in the fight, and that big hematoma Sim had.
Yeah.